All right, we got four spinning wheels here. Hopefully the desk here in the background isn't too messy. Sharing an office here with the wife, the better three-fourths, if you will. Good morning, guys, and we got five check marks in here. Good morning, everyone. This is Broncos for Breakfast. I am going to be writing solo this week as Scott Kennedy is off doing baseball stuff. I love what he said when he first joined. Football's bread and butter, but baseball's called the pastime for a reason. It helps pass time. So here we are in that time of year, and unfortunately, both my Cardinals and my Mariners have not been playing so well. But my Mariners, it's a beautiful stadium if you guys haven't been out there. But welcome in, everybody. Let's get to it before I go too far off the rails here. And you guys got to keep me centered, keep me focused today, because otherwise I'm just talking to myself. So Broncos for Breakfast. Good morning, everyone. I am your host flying solo today, Nick Kendell. You can follow me at Nick Kendell MHH. Also behind the scenes today, thank God for him because he sent me the link because somebody didn't send me the link this morning. Shout out to John K. Buona Beast. Follow him at John K MHH. While you guys are over on Twitter, please follow us also at Mile High Huddle and at Huddle Up Pod. Also, guys, follow Scott Kennedy at Scout Kennedy. He'll be back again a week from today. If you guys are joining us on Facebook, please, facebook.com/Mile High Huddle Pod. Also, facebook.com/Mile High Huddle. If you join us on Facebook, also, please click those thumbs up. And for our YouTube folks out there, I think a majority of you folks join us on YouTube. Please subscribe, like, and share. That's probably the second best thing you can do to help us grow this community, to join outside of the super chats, which are always appreciated. So just me today. Hopefully that doesn't get anybody too upset. And good morning, Nick, for Broncos for Breakfast. Go Broncos. And yeah, man, it's going to be a fun time. I feel like the last time I did a show by myself, TJ Ward was just traded. And you'd be surprised. 45 minutes of Nick talking by himself. It's a good time still. At least it's my wife doesn't have to listen to me yabber on about football. So we got Matt Henry in the house saying, morning, Nick, stoked for the show. Good to see you, Matt. We'll probably keep it a little bit shorter today, half an hour or so, unless the super chats are just pouring in because you guys love me so much. But we'll keep it going here. We got Dave Vega coming in here. Drop some knowledge, Nick. Drop my brain every morning. I got to take a sip too. I don't know how I'm going to get. I need to get intravenous coffee going today. I don't have a break to sip while Scott's making some good points. So 1 second. You guys want to hear how sad I am? That my wife and I, we have coffee flown in from, not flown in, but we buy coffee from someplace in Iowa when we live in God blessed Seattle. Like we're not quite right. I am Purple Drink in here saying good morning all. Got my coffee and I'm ready to go. Got Buana saying morning Purple Drink also. Good to see you guys. Purple Drink, a nice conversation there. Diamond Rattler, Diamond, good to see you. Where's my food? It's a metaphor. You have to imagine the Broncos that you're eating, right? It's the content. It's all the good stuff that we're going here. Victor Rios is in the house. Morning. Dave Glassman is in the house. Cheers to you. It's a little early. I mean, unless you're across the pond, a little early for that beer. I think in Germany they drink beer for breakfast though. So God bless the Germans. EJ saying good morning, Nick in Broncos country. Jason talking about my Mariners. Mariners had a nice sweep of the Rays. That's nice before they called up Wander Franco, right? That guy's coming up here. St. Louis is down bad though. Yeah, they've been not great. Muhammad in the house. Morning, Braun. Good to see you, Muhammad. We appreciate you. We love you, Muhammad. Honestly, you're great. My brain is essentially in that cup until it is emptied. Oh man. Well, I'm going on 2 sips of coffee right now, so bear with me, folks. Ray Osborne, what's for breakfast this morning, Nick? I'm very basic for breakfast. A lot of times, like I'll make a nice scramble, or my wife will make a nice scramble with like a bunch of fresh vegetables in it and whatnot. But I really enjoy those Quest bars. They're like really good protein bars. And I had just order those and eat those for breakfast almost every day. So I'll whip up something fancier for dinner. But Quest bar, I like the cookies and cream and the cookie dough one. Ugh, so good. Stephen Baumgartner saying, good morning, guys. Stephen, got to let us know in the chat how you felt about the McCaffreys going at your boy Scott Frost. A little bit of Nebraska drama there. And do you have anything else in your coffee? Not today yet, Muhammad. Not quite yet. So let's get it going. And Bob Skinner right here. Bob, good morning, Broncos Country. Good morning to you, Bob. So thanks, everybody, for joining us. So the topic of today, the Broncos are rumored to be the team to be hosted for HBO Hard Knocks this year, which, man, it would be fantastic. I don't know if any of you guys also have HBO Go. Shout out to mom and dad. If you guys are those kind of folks using your parents' password. But the Broncos are going to be, or potentially going to be hosting Hard Knocks. Now, what does that mean? What does that look like? the Broncos are one of a few teams. Okay, and we got I Am Purple Drink coming in here saying, I wouldn't mind seeing our boys on Hard Knocks. I love the behind-the-scenes stuff. Hard Knocks is a thumbs up from me. And that's great. I have good call here, Purple Drink. I do think it would be really interesting to see the Broncos on Hard Knocks this year. Obviously, get a behind-the-scenes look. And the thing that would make it really interesting is there is no way in hell Vic Fangio wants anything to do with the cameras behind the scenes and Hard Knocks in the Broncos locker rooms, in the Broncos facilities. And that just makes me laugh because Vic, obviously, I mean, it's not a good thing for Vic, I would say. It's adding extra pressure, extra scrutiny for a job that he's very much on the hot seat, right? And that's the same for Shermer. That's the same for Donatel. That's the same for everybody besides Georgia Payton in there. So having HBO Hard Knocks in there, it adds a level of distraction to the locker room, to the process. It would be very fun as a fan, but I can tell you the old ball coach couldn't be that interested. Now, what would kick it up a notch? There's plenty of awesome storylines. I bet Melvin Gordon, who speaks very well, him versus Javonte Williams for the running back roles. That would be fun. Seeing like Jerry Jeudy, the young weapons talk. Von Miller, man, we'd get a bunch of fun dance moves every single week, I bet, with Von. And the secondary, hopefully Kyle Fuller would maybe come a little bit more out of his shell. And you know who really could use the platform for Hard Knocks would be Justin Simmons. Everybody in Denver knows that Justin Simmons is an absolute class act, one of the better people in the community. But to give him that national platform in that show, I think would be phenomenal and really increase his brand and also increase with his reach as far as what he could do in communities abroad. So that would be awesome as well. But I just keep coming back to Vic Fangio and how unhappy he would be about getting Hard Knocks this season with everything going on, a do or die season for him. So would be interesting. I do think also that Drew Lock and Teddy Bridgewater, say what you will about them as actual quarterbacks. I know that we are very split on them in every single direction. They're both solid. They both suck. One's good, one's bad, blah, blah, blah. Both of them are renowned as pretty good people and very charismatic quarterbacks as well. Kind of need that for the quarterback position sometimes, unless you got Eli Manning out there. But that's beside the point. Got to get a shot at Eli, right? So that would be a lot of fun. I think the Broncos bringing in Hard Knocks would be good for the team. Also, it would be something this team has been irrelevant for way too long, right? Like that's the unfortunate reality of it. 5 years, I think the second longest playoff drought in the AFC, only behind the New York Jets. But, you know, it would be a lot of fun. I would be for it. Who and the teams, I see some people talking about it in here. Who are the teams that otherwise could qualify for Hard Knocks? Off the top of my head, I know that the Arizona Cardinals, I think, are the team that is the favorites. They obviously have Cliff Kingsbury, who beautiful house. Man, they could just shoot it all from Cliff Kingsbury's house in Arizona. And they could also be Kyler Murray, sure, DeAndre Hopkins, AJ Green, there's JJ Watt. So there's a lot of fun storylines in Arizona as well. And we got Jason coming in here over on YouTube. Guys, if you're joining us on YouTube today, please like, subscribe, and share. What are the qualifications for getting on Hard Knocks? The Cardinals would be interesting as hell. I believe the qualifications are it's a team that missed the playoffs last year, and they are 2 years in a row, or 1 or 2 years, they missed the playoffs. And also they have to have a returning head coach. It cannot be a brand new coaching staff trying to implement an offense, whatnot. They need to kind of have some back and forth there. So Jason coming in here saying, here are the teams. Good call, Jason. I just saw it's between Carolina, Denver, Arizona, Dallas, and the New York Giants. Well, all these are interesting teams. I think that, unfortunately, and also another qualification is they either have never had to have been on, or they haven't been on in like the last 5 years of Hard Knocks. At some point, right, they're going to run out of teams. They're going to have to overlap a team. I think the Chiefs might have been the first team to get it too. But anyway, I just saw it's between Carolina, Denver, Arizona, Dallas, and New York Giants. So all those make sense as far as teams with returning head coach that missed the playoffs last season. On this list, I think that the Broncos, while they would be interesting for me, I think the national media would be more interested in Dallas and the New York Giants. Is what it is, guys. We're sometimes the little brothers until, when you have a franchise Hall of Fame quarterback, that kind of changes the perspective. But where the Broncos sit right now, I mean, we just saw it, right? Only one primetime game in the schedule this year. And the 29-year, 30-year streak of Monday Night Football comes to an end. That kind of just speaks to where the league views the Broncos right now, unfortunately. And they're going to have to prove them wrong. They're going to have to win some football games. It is what it is. And let's get back to the chat here. Let's see what everyone's going on here. We got Ashton coming in here. Morning, Nick. Good to see you. Good to see you too, Ashton. Good morning to you. How you doing? Houston checking in. Go Broncos. Oh, Vic. Man, I'm surprised. Are you typing from a puddle right now? Or hopefully you're in a pool or something somewhere, just, full on, just relaxing in front of an air conditioner. It is way too hot out there. It's hot here in Seattle. We are lucky to have a window air conditioner, but whew. Killer. Andrew Morrow saying, waiting to see if we get Aaron. And that folks really changes things, right? Like, I don't know how long HBO can drag their feet, but if the Broncos, let's say just today, comes down the tracks that Aaron Rodgers is traded to the Broncos shoot up to number one because hopefully, and heck, maybe this isn't all an inside job, right? Maybe you're going to see HBO Hard Knocks filming from the beginning, and then like episode 3, the Aaron Rodgers trade goes down. You can actually like see what's happening, all the filming there. At that point, we either live in a simulation or all of this is planned out like it's wrestling, right? But that would be incredible, man. And also the content. Oh, as a content creator, man, I love it. That would be great. But I don't know, man. Tell me what you think. You guys, besides the Broncos, let's get. And we got Ashton coming in here saying coming up to Portland and Tillamook in August for some hiking and whale watching. Well, Ashton, hit me up. I might be whale watching with my parents at that point. We're going to be whale watching in the San Juan Islands. Really close to the Canadian border, the beginning of August, and hopefully a backpacking trip in there too. But Facebook users are coming in here saying, morning from Arizona, dude, it's hot as hell. Man, I'm thinking about all you guys. It's hot here. But what are you going to do? Gary Neighbors coming in here. Go Broncos. And Ashton, also, if you have any questions about any trails, I'm a psychopath and obsessed, so I might be able to help you out with some more in the Washington area, but hit me up. We got the pooping hippo too. I know it's very early, but our first round draft pick next year should be right tackle. And what should we do in the second round? Pooping hippo, this is my bread and butter. You're speaking to my soul here, because once you start talking about team building and philosophy about team building and the directions you should go, I'm in. And I do want to push back just a little bit. Just a little bit. I do think that right tackle, you're talking about right tackle, has a lot of merit. That's a position where the Broncos, they need to make investment there, right? They've paid Garrett Bowles. Now you need probably a high draft pick there. I'll give Mike Munchak something to work with also. And the Broncos, I've said this 100 times, but they tried to get a right tackle in this draft class. It just did not fall that way. And when you do that, you can either be upset and make a panic move, kind of like the Raiders always do in the draft, right? They wanted A.J. Terrell, and they ended up taking Damon Arnett, same position in the first round, and Damon Arnett does not look like he belongs. Good job, Raiders. You're always just blowing it. 32nd DVOA defense in the last 3 years combined. People blame Derek Carr. I don't get it. But right tackle, that's very much in the cards. You got to listen to the Broncos, though. You got to pay attention. Go out there. They try to pay Leonard Floyd, right? His market explodes. Edge rusher market explodes. Broncos bring back Von Miller instead. The Broncos, they try to trade up to draft Jalen Phillips. Jalen Phillips, the edge rusher from Miami, I believe he went 18th overall and goes to the Dolphins. Broncos were trying to trade up to him. They had a lot of interest in Jalen Phillips. So that's another one that is edge rusher. And then Vic Fangio, just today, or just yesterday, saying that he is concerned about the edge position's depth. And that to me just screams edge rusher is a position this team is looking to attack. Von Miller is going to be 33 years old. Malik Reed is going to be paid here pretty soon. The Broncos are going to be wanting to pay him. How much do they actually value his sack production last year versus the advanced analytics, which says that he was a beneficiary of a lot of situations where he was able to accumulate those sacks. And Von Miller coming off an injury, 33 years old, right? Like, Von Miller's not going to play forever. Enjoy him while he's here. He's first ballot Hall of Fame in my book. Definitely a Broncos Ring of Famer. Absolutely love Von Miller. But Father Time is undefeated, right? So eventually it's going to come to a close. So right tackle is very much up there. Putting quarterback in a box because I don't need that bad juju right now. I'm by myself. I don't want to radiate toxicity talking quarterbacks already. But excuse me. Edge rusher should be right there with right tackle, in my opinion. Both value positions as well. And we have Andrew in the house. Andrew Morrow. Thank you so much, Andrew, for getting the ball rolling here. I was starting to think you guys didn't love me. You guys are just coming for Scott these days. Andrew coming with the super chat here. Thank you so much, Andrew. He says, keep up the great work. Go Broncos. Hashtag get Rodgers now. I'm with you, buddy. I would love to get Rodgers in here. Man, Broncos football would be so fun, again, if they were able to get Aaron Rodgers, just all the attention, what these young weapons would look like with a guy like Aaron Rodgers. And would it be a short-term solution, 3-4 years? When you put it that way, that seems short, but like when I think back to the Broncos with Peyton Manning, that feels like they had Peyton Manning for forever, right? Like 3 to 4 years when you're great and you're savoring on every moment and you're watching every game and you're so dialed in and every game matters. I'll take it. I'll take it if it's just 3 to 4 years. I don't care, right? Like that would be incredible. Man, that would be so fun. Also, the games of Aaron Rodgers versus Patrick Mahomes. Give me. I think I might need to trade Aaron Rodgers to the Broncos and Madden just to work out some of those demons. Although if I do that, I'll probably jinx them. And when will HBO choose the team? It's going to have to be pretty soon, right? Because it's for training camp. So we got 6 weeks until training camp. I'm guessing it'll be chosen here. Choosed. That's not a word, folks. Chosen here, probably the beginning of July. That would be my assumption. I do not have the exact date, but look for it. And when we know, you guys will know. And we got, just my little rant just coming in here against me. I am Purple Drink. Really proving some opposite points here. Appreciate it. Call me crazy, but I don't even want Aaron. He's only got a few years left in him, and we need a good QB for the next 10 years. I don't want to be going through this carousel in 2 or 3 more seasons. The thing is, we're in the carousel now, and we might be in the carousel still the next 2 to 3 seasons, or you could have a little bridge where you have I'll even push back 2 to 5 seasons where you have great quarterback play, good to great quarterback play, and you're off that carousel for a little bit. And at this point, ideally, you draft a quarterback and he turns into, Patrick Mahomes, and you have a great quarterback for 15, 20 years, right? Like that's the best case scenario, but that is a little bit of a crapshoot, right? And the Broncos, they passed Justin Fields this year. I think they had eyes on Trey Lance, but I think the Falcons also had eyes on Trey Lance. Didn't work out that way. So here we are, and we're on the carousel right now. So I'd rather get off and with a first ballot Hall of Fame quarterback, arguably one of the best ever, but we'll see. And Veach coming in here over on Twitch. Shout out to all the Twitch followers here. I'm glad we don't have a bunch on here. We missed you last Thursday, John, because we had 10,000 people in here saying, you want to be famous now? Join us on Twitch. So like, oh my God, I can't get rid of them. But if this carousel comes with Super Bowl, then I'll gladly hop on the ride. Yeah, exactly. Hey, let's make it 1 or 2 Super Bowls. Let's be fun. Let's knock the Chiefs out of the playoffs again. One of the first football games that I remember as a kid was the Broncos going into Arrowhead in the AFC divisional round, I believe, and knocking out the Kansas City Chiefs. And I think Tony Gonzalez was in that game, man. Tony played forever. But that's one of the games I remember watching. I think they went into Pittsburgh after that and won the AFC Championship game, then beat the Green Bay Packers. So Broncos winning road games to get to the Super Bowl. Great. We got Simon also coming in here over on YouTube with the Canadian dollars. Simon, I see that Canada and U.S. might be opening the border here pretty soon at the end of July. So my cousin works up in Banff. So he's excited to come down. I'll hopefully get to see him. He's a cloud seeder. Yeah, pretty cool gig. Simon coming in. Greetings. Which rookie safety do you think will take over for Kareem Jackson? And Simon, man, you're asking me just to put on the pure, let me draw a name out of a hat here without the film to see how these guys develop this season. Right now, I honestly think that my gut tells me Jamar Johnson, but the Broncos had a chance to pick Jamar Johnson or Caden Stearns, and they took Caden Stearns first, right? So that's like, how would the Broncos rank these guys? Well, they took one of these guys before the other, so I think I'm going to have to go with Caden Stearns, right? Like that's the only real bit of knowledge I have based on what the Broncos have done. I had Jamar Johnson rated higher. I thought Caden Stearns he's more likely to be a special teams ace because he is more athletic than Johnson, but I think Johnson just has ball skills, intelligence, awareness that Caden Stearns has not quite shown yet. Now, that doesn't mean that he's not going to get there. He's a really highly rated recruit, a great athlete, and Texas has if there's any Longhorn fans out there, cover your ears, but Texas has starting to get a reputation of great athletes, right? 5-star athletes, and not developing them to their max capability. So it is what it is. But right now, I think I'd have to lean Caden Stearns. But we'll see. And I think it would be really funny if the Broncos next year, both those guys, they draft them. You're hoping one of them will take over for Kareem Jackson next year. But let's say the Broncos are picking 12 next year in the draft. Season didn't go as you'd hoped, but they're picking 12. There's a safety for Notre Dame named Kyle Hamilton who, oh man, he is so freaking fun and good. And he is like, as a prospect, he's like the upgraded version of Justin Simmons. Like Justin Simmons fell all the way to the end of the third round, right? Like he wasn't a highly thought of prospect. I mean, decently high because he's still a top 100 pick, but not this no doubt can't miss safety. Kyle Hamilton is probably going to go top 15. And to pair him with Justin Simmons would be a lot of fun. And man, Vic Fangio, he loves himself his safeties. And you could do a lot with that position. So let's get it going here. Let's get the super sticker up on here. In a second. I'm going to flash Andrew Morrow first, but then you can pull up that super sticker there, John. And we got Andrew coming back in. Andrew, you love me. You really love me. Thank you so much. Nick Morning Beer Fund. If this was a Saturday morning show, I might be joining you there, a little bit. I did go to the University of Iowa for a bit, and those kickoffs at 11 a.m. That means that if you want to enjoy some adult beverages, it might be 8:30 a.m. But that's a different life. That's a past life for me. But it's all pretty good. And let's pull up Muhammad's super sticker here right now. Thank you so much, guys. Shout out to John. I'd be here all alone without him, except with all you guys. But I really appreciate it. And we got the 100 coming in here from Muhammad Badri. I wish it was the 99 to match your 99 cent super sticker there, but really appreciate it there. Just one off. It's just bothering me. But really appreciate it, Muhammad. We thank you so much. Yep, the king of the super stickers, as Boana likes to say, and that's the gospel truth. We thank you so much. And he says facts coming in here. And is it a one-man show today? Yes, it is going to be a one-man show today. It's going to be a one-man show also this upcoming Thursday as well. I will be flying solo as Scott has family obligations, other sport obligations. I thought Scott might poke his head in here today to say hello in the chat, but he doesn't like me. I guess this is just a business partnership. He doesn't love me like you guys do. But I got Diamond coming back in here saying, just because you have a quarterback for 10 years doesn't mean you're going to win anything. With Rodgers, we'd be a championship team for 2 to 3 years. I don't know why you guys keep saying 2 to 3 years. We're seeing Brady play into 45. We're seeing a lot of quarterbacks just being able to get themselves longer. I think the window could easily be 5 years. Rodgers didn't start playing until he was 27 years old in the NFL, right? Like we're starting. So he has less like bullets thrown and taken from the line of scrimmage. And I think he could play. I don't think we have to put a cap on him. It's not like Peyton Manning where he had that neck surgery and that arm, like it was a ticking time bomb. Like we knew it was going to fall off at some point. And unfortunately, it just kind of happened there in that 2015 season. Thank God for that defense. But I mean, they carried him to that Super Bowl. Let's call it as it is. I love Peyton, but I'm a realist. But 2 to 3 years, I think it could easily be 4 to 5 years, right? Like Rodgers is great. He's still got plenty of arm talent. And he's also one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the NFL as well. It's not like he's living on his athleticism and arm talent to be the quarterback that he is. It's not like he's out there Josh Allening, Cam Newtoning his way to quarterback supremacy, right? Like those are the type of quarterbacks where like if the arm talent starts to diminish a little bit or the physical ability starts to degrade, they can fall off pretty quickly because they're more reliant on their physical tool set. So I think you could get a little bit longer than that 2 to 3 years that we're talking about here. And we got Jason coming in here also saying Brady took a lot more hits in his first few years. He didn't avoid the shots in those early seasons. And that's a good point as well. He also, Brady, there's a weird dynamic. At some point, we'll really have to go over Brady's legacy. I think at this point, you have to call him the GOAT, going from the Patriots to the Buccaneers and winning another Super Bowl. One of, man, is he the only quarterback to go to the AFC and NFC and win a Super Bowl in each? I can't remember. I knew that was pretty rare for a head coach to do. But those early seasons of Brady, carried by that defense, right? Top 5 defense every single season. He was asked to game manager his ways to Super Bowls, and it worked. But I think not. It wasn't until that year where they brought in Randy Moss, Dante Stallworth, Wes Welker, where Tom Brady really started to put up those actually like elite quarterback numbers, because quarterback wins are not a stat, folks. Robert Caslow in the house. Hope you're doing pretty well. Vinny J. Coming in here is talking about quarterback wins are a stat. He has one championship in 16 years. Why do you think he's so pissed? Right? Like this Green Bay team, they go out there and they keep drafting defensive linemen. They keep drafting future quarterbacks. They're not out there making splashes in free agency. How many actually good wide receivers has he had? It's championships are a team stat. And I think that's another reason that Rodgers is out here trying to get a win, right? Or trying to get out of there because he thinks he can see what the Broncos could do, especially how this team is set up right now. you put Rodgers on this team, they're better than the Packers. They just are. The only thing the Packers have going for them that's better is the offensive line, and I'll give that to them. But David Bakhtiari is coming off a serious injury. They've lost Corey Linsley. They don't have Mike Munchak. They do not nearly have the weapons the Broncos have, and I don't think they have the defense the Broncos have. So it is what it is. So how do we figure he'll get us 2 to 3 years? You don't know, right? I just would say I wouldn't put a cap on 2 to 3 years. And Vinny, I appreciate you coming in here and retorting, because it's always better content when we can have a little bit of back and forth. And I want to give a shout out to Robert Caslow in the house. Good to see you, Robert. Greg Smith coming in here saying, of course, I'm late, fellas. Well, Greg, if you're here at all, you're on time. That's what I have to say. That's what you kind of have to say working for Huddle Up sometimes, because last Saturday I was a little late as well, but I was here, so I was on time. DBA saying, I loved when we got Manning, and I don't want to give a bunch of players a picks. I agree with you. Oh man. Muhammad, super sticker competition coming in here with a $20 over from Broncos 17-0 with the Hippo coming in here saying, what did he say? He said, victory. Awesome. Thank you, Hippo. I had to wait for it. Have you guys seen that video yet? I think it was a TikTok of the hippo chasing the boat where it's like coming up out of the water and has a wake. I literally had a nightmare after watching that. Absolutely terrified. Hippos kill like 2,000 people a year or something too. Sharks kill 5. Hippos PR has got to stop. We have to be against hippos. We call them what they are. They're cute as babies, but they develop into maniac killing machines. Hippos must be stopped. Unless they want to play on the defensive line for the Broncos. And then I'm in. The Hippos can be back in then. So we got Dave coming in here saying 12 gets rid of the ball so quickly he won't take many big shots, which is a good point. As anybody knows, all it takes is one big shot, though. But it's kind of like, not to get really morbid here, but like it's like driving a car, right? Like you could drive once, you could drive 1,000 times. All it takes is once to be in a bad accident, and that's, you never know. That's the reality of the situation. Jason also coming in here saying, I think A-Rod gets moved next offseason, but who really knows? I put it in a box. I really think that the Broncos would be interested if he does become available, but are the Packers going to be willing to do it? Are they going to take their ball and go home? Don't know. Big Hippo doesn't want to know. And yeah, hippos are no joke. Yeah, they are absolutely horrifying. They're so big that they run across the bottom and they like create a wake too. They're like jumping out from the bottom. Heck no. Miss me with hippos. Not a fan. That's added to the list of fears. Number 1 was ticks. I hate ticks. Hippos coming in number 2. Really strong. Yeah, working as an epidemiologist and seeing tick-borne illnesses. No, thank you. They scare the hell out of me. And no, Vinny, your points were valid too. You can get a little bit cocky here. I don't care. It's fine. It's all good. Yeah, guys, I think we're probably going to get out of here pretty soon. We want to do a short and sweet show. Keep it wrapped up. Keep it not too long. Unless there's a super chat that comes down the tracks here. If there is anything else you guys want to talk about next Thursday, we are going to keep it short and sweet. Because I mean, heck, Chad even said that, hey, you guys take the week off. We got 6 weeks until training camp. It'll be good. No. I need to bring the people content, and I need my ego massaged a little bit. Here we go, Dave. Let's if the super chats keep bringing, or if the comment section doesn't even have to be super chats, keep bringing interesting questions, I can pontificate for a bit. Nick, who are you taking, Aaron Rodgers or Deshaun Watson? This is a good question, and I think that I need even more specific questions here to answer. There's different answers to different questions. Right now with the Deshaun Watson stuff, there's just so many accusers and this stuff, I mean, not good. So right now putting Aaron Rodgers in a box. I'm putting Deshaun Watson in a box and putting on a lock until this stuff is resolved. Outside of football, if I could take either of these guys for the Broncos franchise, I would take Deshaun Watson because he is 25 years old. He was a top 5 quarterback in the league last year. And you give yourself a chance to compete for Super Bowls for the next 10 to 15 years, right? Like, he's a good enough quarterback where if you put the pieces around him, you can win. I know the Texans had the third worst record in the league last year. Texans are abysmal. That was a terrible team. It was a terrible defense. The offensive weapons were lacking. Just bad all around. The only piece on that team that I really valued is Laremy Tunsil, and giving up 2 first-round picks for a non-quarterback. But I mean, just window-wise, Deshaun Watson makes the most sense. But you cannot ignore the off-the-field stuff going on with him right now. And I wouldn't want to touch it. I wouldn't want to touch it. So I guess I have to go Aaron Rodgers in that sense, just because there is off-the-field ramifications and logistics that you have to pay attention to. and has the Deshaun Watson thing cleared up. It's not cleared up. I don't think it's going to be cleared up until after this season. So it is what it is. And we got Ashton coming back in here saying, when you're watching the game, what do you look at? Quarterback, wide receiver, etc. When the Broncos have the ball, I tend to watch the quarterback, the passing game. When the Broncos don't have the ball, I tend to watch either Von Miller or Bradley Chubb because you can see them on the screen, right? From that camera angle, you don't have to have the coach's film to appreciate them, kind of like you do for cornerbacks and safety. You can have that straight down the line view, broadcast view. And Bradley Chubb and Von Miller are incredible talents. They're a lot of fun. And I've been telling myself the last few seasons, I guess last year I watched Chubb more than Von, but the last few seasons, I'm like, okay, Von Miller, sun's going to be setting at some point, right? It's past noon, the back nine. And I'm going to try to appreciate every single snap of Von Miller while he's still here because he is a special talent, special twitch, special get off, special bend, and something incredible might happen at any point. So I really try to focus on the edge rushers when I am watching the Broncos defense, but hard not to watch the quarterback when you're watching the offense, right? When I go back, I'll watch the offensive line and whatnot. But the first time watching, it'll be the quarterback. Let me see. And we got Robert Castle come back in. Who has to improve more, the D-line or the secondary? From last year's play, it's probably got to be the secondary. I mean, that seems pretty easy to me. The defensive line obviously fell off a bit last year with all the injuries, and they were getting pushed back those last few weeks, but the secondary just in general was not good enough. Even when you had Bryce Callahan healthy and AJ Boye healthy, and Michael Ojemudia, that was a bottom half cornerback room. Boye had started to really fall off a cliff there. Callahan was great, but Ojemudia, what did you expect from a third-round rookie? He's already shown way more than Brandon Langley and Isaac Yiadom ever did for the Broncos, and he was drafted in the same area, so that bodes well for him. And now he's not even going to have to be a starter. He might be the fifth cornerback, so is what it is. Matt Henry coming in here saying, what do you think the Broncos record is going to be with and without Aaron Rodgers? I think without Aaron Rodgers, he had the Broncos right at 500. 8-9, 9-8, probably right around there. Maybe, 7-10, 10-7, maybe. I think I'd probably push closer to 7-10 than 10-7. But they do have an easier schedule this year. It's so hard. Everything's predicated on the quarterback, right? So how are they going to play? I don't know. But they're probably right around 500 as they currently stand, I would say. And that's just me I really try not to wear the orange tinted glasses. I don't like that. I think that's doing you guys a disservice. So I'm going to try to tell you as it is and remove bias when at all possible. With Aaron Rodgers, though, I think this is a probably, so it's 17 games this year. I think you'd have 12 to 14 wins with Aaron Rodgers on this team. I think that's to be expected. And with how late it'd be in the process, you're probably expecting them to be a little bit slow out of the gate. And we saw that with the Broncos, Peyton Manning in 2012. We saw that with Tom Brady last year, right? Like they got hot. They were right around 500 there for a while, and they got hot and just kept winning football games the second half of the season on. So that's how I would look at it. But it would be good. It would be great if we could get Rodgers. Ashton coming back in. Do you have a read on Herbert's offseason? I'm curious about his development. Sophomore slump. I do not have a read on Herbert's development, but he's got some funky stats. Herbert last year was the player who benefited the least in garbage time. His garbage time stats were probably the worst in the league, but he had really good non-garbage time stats. There was a really interesting graphic out there, like the team being down 17 plus points with I don't remember exactly how they did it. But Herbert was one of the quarterbacks who actually got fat the least from garbage time stats. So he was pretty good last year in that regard. Also, the Chargers had the worst offensive line in football last year. People like to complain about the Broncos offensive line. Say were just in a league of their own as far as how bad they were, and they really revamped that unit, invested in it this offseason, so they should be better there. I will say though, Justin Herbert last year, he had incredible numbers under pressure, and good for him. That's great. But historically, we know that quarterback rating, quarterback accuracy under pressure is something that is not predictive year to year. It tends to fluctuate a lot. It'll be random one year who's the best quarterback at that, and the next year it'll be another random quarterback, and you tend to see a lot of it's really volatile. So I would expect, even if Justin Herbert improves, some of his stats may sink back to the mean, because I don't think his ability under pressure will be the same this year, just based on historical context. So thank you for the question, Ashton. Man, Herbert's a good quarterback. I know that the Broncos really liked him, and if he would have come out in that 2019 draft, who knows? He might be a Bronco right now, but different reality, guys. Different reality. And Dave says he removes bias by cheering on our team. Well, David, I'm not here to. There's only one wrong way to fan, and that's to tell others how they can fan. So gatekeeping, not allowed. I only gatekeep gatekeepers. Those guys can get out of here. But speaking on getting out of here, guys, we went 35 minutes. Chad said we didn't have to go at all. So I think we're going to get on out of here, unless there is a super chat that comes down the tracks. But I don't think so. We'll see. I dare you guys. I dare you. But that's going to do it, guys. I am Nick Kendell. You can follow me on Twitter at Nick Kendell MHH. Also, shout out to John for joining us this morning behind the ones and twos, working it, pulling up the super chats, helping dictate the flow of the conversation. God, it's so much easier when he's here. I really appreciate the hell out of him. Follow Buana Beast. You guys know him. You love him. At John K. MHH. This has been Broncos for Breakfast. While you guys are over on Twitter, follow us at Huddle Up Pod and at Mile High Huddle. Facebook, if you're joining us on Facebook today, please click those thumbs up. The heart react. I see a sad react coming in here from Earl Wamick. Earl, there's no reason to be sad, man. We got you a show. It's a good day. Maybe he doesn't like the Broncos going on Hard Knocks. We'll see. And we got, if you are joining us on Facebook, though, please click the thumbs up, laugh react, care react, heart react, whatever. I wish we could do the poop emoji. That would be way more fun. But Facebook.com/Mile High Huddle Pod or Facebook.com/Mile High Huddle. To our YouTube people today, please subscribe, like, and share. Not everybody's in a point where they can contribute. That's fine. That's reality. But if you're not at that point, something you can do that's completely free helps us a heck of a lot. Please subscribe, like, and share. And thank you to everybody saying thanks, Nick, for going solo today. Nick, you're the man, and I'm not stroking your ego, but you really keep it real. I try, man. If I'm trying to bring anything here, it's trying to be authentic, and I really do not want to pander, right? Like I hate that. I hate that so much. So we got Ashton coming and see you tonight, Nick. Well, yeah, we'll see you guys tonight for Billy and the Broncos at 6 o'clock Mountain Time. And Matt Henry saying thanks, Nick and Beast. Great show. And Jason saying appreciate the solo pod. Enjoy the day, Nick. And Travis coming in here a little late. Hello from Arkansas, Nick. Denver Broncos for life. Well, Travis, we see you. Hopefully we'll see you tonight too. Appreciate everyone joining us today. Even if it was just for a little bit, it's fun to talk a little football. I know we got a long off season ahead of us here. These 6 weeks can really be a grind, but we can grind together. So we'll see you all next Thursday. I'll see you all tonight. Have a good one. Stay safe, stay cool, and go Broncos.